Unfortunately, more disturbing news from America once again, and more linked to Islamophobia. The Houston chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations reported that 3 Afghan girls were violently assaulted by at least 20 students in the Pool River Middle School lunchroom on March 3. The attackers allegedly beat and stabbed the girls with pencils, leaving one hospitalized for 4 days. Video footage shows a chaotic scene with an assistant principal intervening to stop the attack. There are claims the girls were targeted due to their ethnicity and hijab, despite repeated attempts, and claims the school has not responded adequately. It's also said that 7 aggressors faced disciplinary action under the district's code of conduct and that the victim was offered a transfer. You can see the full caption on the Muslim Daily Instagram page. We can see this is quite disturbing and linked to Islamophobia, and it seems like the school perhaps didn't deal with the attackers adequately. They should be investigated fully, and the ones responsible should be removed from the school altogether. There is no room for people like this in any school. They should, if they, I'm not saying whether they should be educated or not, that's a separate issue, but they should not be in that school, and perhaps not in any school with other people if they've got that sort of mentality and or willing to do such things. And at the same time, you've got your president saying X, Y, and Z and doing X, Y, and Z, as well as media and organizations saying and doing similar things. Then what narrative does that push about people that look a certain way, that dress a certain way, that might have certain beliefs, certain people from a certain religion? When your governments and people are doing stuff like this, then what do you expect people? They'll be easily absorbing what you put out there. That doesn't excuse their behavior, but it's not just these individuals that are at fault, alongside with perhaps their parents maybe, as well as perhaps even the school by the looks of it, as well as the government and whatever else, what they're putting out there to show that you can do X, Y, and Z if someone looks like X, Y, and Z. So hopefully those responsible are dealt with in the most severe way possible, made an example of, removed from the education system. This is not a case of where you, as far as I'm aware, if I'm mistaken, then you tell me and correct me. But these people, they just did this attack. There was no reason to do so. It was not retaliation. It was nothing like that. These people, they do not deserve to be in mainstream education amongst other students, to be learning. When they do such things like this, they are a threat to society. In fact, I'd say, from what's happening, if you can just attack someone like that in this way, then in a school environment, what can you do outside of school? If you're going to give them an education, give them an education privately. I'm not here to speak about whether they deserve an education or not, but they definitely do not deserve to be educated in a public school, being a threat to all the other students. And hopefully the victims are offered adequate care and reassurance, and not just told, oh, we're going to transfer you to a different school. And in fact, like I said, these students that were affected, they should be allowed, if they want to remain in the school, and the ones that were involved in the attack should be removed from the school, regardless of if these students that were attacked decide to stay in the school or transfer. Hopefully, sooner or later we find out the outcomes of what's happening to the students that were attacked, as well as the ones that are attacked, and there's a swift resolution.